I'm going to rank the best and worst countries for solo travel. Let's start with El Salvador. El Salvador is a beautiful country and there is so much to do there, from hiking in Santa Ana to going to the Crater Lake and even surfing on the Pacific side. You can do a huge range of different activities. The food is amazing, it's extremely affordable and very safe, and the people are so kind. For that reason, I'm giving El Salvador A tier. Let's move on to Norway. Norway is a beautiful country with fjords in the west and the north, and Helsinki in the south. There are northern lights to see and skiing and a ton of winter activities, and the food is great. Now, I loved traveling Norway, but there were a lot of group activities and I felt like the people were not as social as other places that I've traveled to. Norway can also get a little bit expensive. While it is incredibly beautiful, with the cost and the lack of social interaction that I had there, I give Norway a B tier. Belgium has some of the most incredible architecture I've ever seen. It is a gorgeous place. Cities like Brussels, Bruges, and Ghent had some of the best architecture I've ever seen. Belgium is a great place to travel to, and I think it would be best enjoyed in a group setting. So I'm giving Belgium C tier. Let's talk about Sweden. Sweden is absolutely gorgeous, with half of the country being in the Arctic Circle. It has the potential to see northern lights, but it gets really cold. Additionally, in the Swedish countryside, especially in the Arctic Circle, which is where I was, there were only group activities, and if you weren't going on a group activity, there wasn't a lot of stuff to do during the day. So I think this would be great for a group trip, and it is extremely beautiful, but it can also get expensive and a little bit isolating if you're constantly around other groups. For that reason, I give Sweden a C tier. Let's talk about Indonesia. I had a really hard time in Indonesia as a solo traveler. There aren't a lot of ways to get around other than on a motorbike or in a van, so it's not very walkable, and I felt like I was constantly being solicited anytime I set foot outside my hotel room. I did find that the locals were very kind, and it is known for being an extremely affordable and beautiful place, but because of the heavy soliciting, I found it really hard to enjoy by myself. I give Indonesia an F tier. Next up is Chile. I went to the Atacama Desert in Chile, so I'll be ranking it from that perspective. Atacama is one of the most unique and beautiful places that I have ever seen. It is also really affordable and there's a ton of stuff to do and see, but every single tour is a giant group tour in a big white van that picks you up at the crack of dawn. So if you're solo traveling, it's really hard to see places on your own or without a ton of other tourists or groups there. With all of that into consideration, I give Chile a B tier. On to Portugal, and more specifically, the Azores. The Azores are a magical place. It is affordable, it has the friendliest people and incredible food, especially if you like seafood, and the nature is unrivaled to anything that I have ever seen. I found it to be very safe. I found the people extremely kind, the weather is amazing, and it is a do not miss trip. I give the Azores and Portugal in general S tier. Moving on to Panama. Panama has amazing food, and there's a lot to do between Panama City and exploring the rest of the nature along the country. I found that the people were very friendly, and there's such a vibrant cultural scene in Panama. With that being said, I did feel like it was more of a couple's destination or a family destination with a lot of tour groups and not a lot of things to do by yourself. I also felt like the activities that they had there for tour options weren't very differentiated from other parts of Central America. So let's put Panama in the C tier. Up next is Peru. I spent 2 weeks exploring Peru, and I have to say it is one of the most amazing places. It sits all across the Andes Mountains, and the hiking and the views and the culture and the food are to die for. There was so much to do in Peru, it was hard to pack it into a 2-week trip. I think Peru is a great trip for solo travelers because there's actually so much to do, it might be hard to compromise an itinerary if you're traveling with other people. I'm putting Peru in the A tier. And finally, we have Poland. I was blown away by the food scene in Poland. They have extremely delicious food that I was not expecting at all. I also loved the architecture there, but ultimately I didn't feel like there was a lot to do outside of eating and drinking and some minimal sightseeing. I also found like the people were not as outgoing as some of the other places that I've traveled to. So for that reason, I give Poland a D tier. I have one bonus for you, which is Costa Rica. Costa Rica is a very special place for me because I have traveled there for a whole month every year for the last 4 years. I think Costa Rica is beautiful and the food is amazing and the people are so kind. There's diversity of wildlife, there's hiking and waterfalls and surfing. It is a true paradise. Whether you're in a group or you're a solo traveler, you are going to love Costa Rica. So I give Costa Rica an S tier. And there you have it. Those are the best and the worst places to solo travel. If you have any favorite or least favorite places that I missed, let me know in the comments. I have a lot of solo trips coming up soon, so make sure you stay tuned for the next adventure.